and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build video. And today I'm creating this industrial warehouse conversion apartment building. I say this all the time, but I've always really wanted to make a warehouse conversion into an apartment building. I wanted to make a smaller version, and maybe one day I'll get the chance and make a smaller version, but today I'm really just enjoying the version that I created. I say this all the time that this is one of my favorite builds, but I like the camper van. Don't get me wrong. Love the camper van. Love the dark academia apartment. Absolutely adore it. But there is something about this apartment building that I just love so much. Maybe it's because what I was listening to when I was creating it, or maybe it was just like the vibes, but I don't even know. I always say to you guys, trust the process, and I really had to take my advice when it came to making this, because just even now, just look at it. Look at the shell. The shell doesn't give you hope. It doesn't make you feel like, oh, okay, this is going to look like a really nice face. It looks so blocky and awkward, and it just looks, and then I'm just adding half walls, and it just looks very just weird. Like it doesn't see the vibe. And originally I was going to do flat roofing, but then I was just like, I don't know about flat roofing. I don't know how many warehouses had flat roofing. But I just decided, you know what, let me just take inspiration from my surroundings. So when in doubt, take inspiration from your surroundings. So I took inspiration from, did you know? I didn't know. But again, I don't use the gameplay that often, so I don't blame myself for not knowing. This, I don't show it, but this looking at factory looking type of building in the top, I don't know, because I do switch this around, which makes me really upset because I like the way this looked in sunset, but I felt like logistically how Sims would actually get to the apartment was if I switched it to the other way around. But there is this building in the far off of this world, which is San Sequoia. I keep calling it San Sequoia for whatever reason. There is a building that kind of looks like a factory conversion, which I found out when I clicked on it, because I was able to click on it. I was like, wait, hold on, I can't click on this on Manage World. I can't click on this on Travel. So what is this? And it is like, go watch a movie. And I was like, wait, it's a rabbit hole. And it made me realize how much I really don't know much about gameplay within this game, because I didn't realize we had a cinema rabbit hole. And that was really interesting to discover and find out. But anyway, it was that building that I took inspiration. Yeah, you can see kind of here in the top right corner. It was that building I took inspiration from when creating this. Now, this was supposed to look completely different. I don't even know. Like, I originally had it in mind that I was going to create this type of building somewhere in maybe Copperdale, and I do have, actually, I've got in my backlog, I was supposed to make this Christmas tree, like very like Hallmark style Christmas tree, where you would just pop in and just like fall in love and something like, it's like small town vibes pop in. I might just upload the shell. I don't think I'm going to decorate it, because I don't think I ever told you guys, but I did start to decorate it and I was going to post it in time for Christmas. But then what happened was that my computer froze up in the midst of me decorating it. So when I came back into it, all of it was unfurnished. Thankfully, thank God, it was still there, but it was unfurnished. And I was like, no, I don't have the energy. I did try and do it again, but I was like, no, I actually really liked my original layout. And I was just like, I'm not going to continue doing it. So I didn't continue doing it, but I do have the shell. So I might just upload that onto the gallery for anyone who just wants the shell. But again, with this, going back to it, trusting the process. With this, I really, because originally I told you guys I'll remake it, and I'll remake it in the style, and I'll show you what it was supposed to look like. That this was kind of just me going off in the wind with it. And what I realized with it when I was creating it is that it just looked very, very wonky, and it looked like it didn't make sense. There was no harmony in it, and I still don't think there's a whole lot of harmony in it, but it just didn't feel like a building. It didn't feel like a building that I necessarily wanted it to be. Anyway, quick flash forward here. As you can see, I've already painted everything and all of that. Wait, hold on. I don't know. I might have accidentally rearranged the footage, because now I'm looking at me using the debug menu, but there could be a portion where I have already showed it, but I haven't rearranged it correctly. Anyway, oopsie, we continue. It looked very jagged and looked very weird, and it didn't look like the vibe I needed it to be. But I was like, you know what? you don't quit, you just keep going and going and going. And that's what I did. And it's like ended up being one of my favorite apartment complexes ever. Bear in mind, this is the exact same lot that I created, that city apartment complex, which was quite early within the whole multi-household build frenzy the Sims 4 building community was in, which was such a joyous time. Like, honestly, I as a builder, as I was just like, so this was like my early stages of my YouTube career. So it was like 2 or 3 months, and to just see so many people building so many variation, it felt like one big massive build challenge. And the cool thing about that entire time, I was so happy to be part of, was that it was one of the packs that, yeah, everyone was like excited to get the new stuff in the pack, but it was also something that realistically we could create without having the pack yet. It's just once we get the pack, it was going to make things functional. So think of, I don't know what to say, but imagine we've already got something like this, so it doesn't necessarily apply, but we do have the get to work pack, and we are able to make like stores and stuff like that with that. But just imagine if the Sims came out with like maybe a stuff pack that was like, let's get shopping, or the shopping stuff pack or something like that. Obviously, first of all, we will probably complain because this could have just been a refresh for get to work. But if they did release something like that, then we would probably, like, again, in a frenzy, just make loads of shops. And not exactly in the way that we created apartments, because when we got For Rent, there was only specific apartment things that were added, like to do with, I forgot exactly which culture they referenced, but I think it was Thai culture. But the things that were coming with the pack was specifically referenced to Thai culture, but everything else you could really create with what you've already got in the game and then just make that functional with the pack. So if Let's Get Shopping made like functional shopping malls, because we can have shopping malls to an extent, but when you need to add mods to add more people, and then you need a mod to add more mannequins, and it's just, it's a lot of modding. It's not simplistic. And this is me not asking for Let's Get Shopping pack, because I honestly do not think we need it. But me just saying in advance that if they did bring something out, the entire building community would just be up in arms, just building the most amount of crazy shops out there, bookstores, film stores, all these kind of things. And that's the kind of vibe that it was like when we were getting ready for the 4M pack. Like, everyone and everybody was just building all these creative types of buildings, and a lot of builds that were already created before we even knew that such a pack would come out were being like reshown, like they were popping up on our recommended page and everything like that. And it was just such a fun time, and I'm just so glad and happy that I was able to be a part of it, because I had a blast. Because I think you guys know, I said it in the video that I really, really, really like doing apartment buildings. They're my comfort, and as you can tell, I kind of like pushed this out. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I did accidentally switch to the 2 clips of, oh, well, I did switch out what's it called? What did I switch out? I did push out these 2 videos because I love doing camper vans and I love doing apartments. My only other favorite thing I could have pushed out was either a high school or a restaurant, and those would have been my favorite builds, because those are my favorite builds. I love doing apartment buildings. I love doing high schools. I love doing restaurants. Haven't done a restaurant for a second. Tell me if you guys want a restaurant, and tell me where, and tell me the vibe. Like, I think what I'm going to do, instead of just like randomly putting that into the air, hey, what do you want? And because it's not that I don't listen to you, I've said this before, I do listen to every single thing you guys say. Still got the rec center at the back of my mind, still have the airport at the back of my mind, still have the daycare, the club, the 30 by 20 club, still have the, actually, someone said Moroccan apartments. I've got something for you in the backlog. They're not specifically Moroccan apartments, but they're desert village inspired. And I could not wait to show you guys that. And you're probably thinking, so if it's already made, bring that out, girl. Why are you making like all these other builds? And bring out the builds you've already done. See, the problem is with that, I need to talk for ages. And I'll also need to, like, it's like such a big think and I care for them so much that I just kind of want to hold on to them, but I also want to show you guys, but I'm also kind of scared because normally, obviously, in the space within media and social media and everything, you do think about, okay, is this going to do well? Is this going to do well? Is this going to do well? And I say this in a way that if you didn't think you wanted to get views on your videos, you kind of just upload them into the ether and not really tag anything or put any hashtags or do anything to try and garner views. But I did because I do, and most people do, because you want views. Whether you want money or not, now that's up in the air. But you do want people to see the work you've created because you've put it out as public viewing and you've put these hashtags and all these keywords in order to have a lot of people generate and come together with it. And what really scares me about builds such as the Desert Village and the English High School is that these have been such near and dear builds to me. Like, I absolutely adore them. These are one of my favorite builds ever, and I'm so proud of them that if I put them out and they don't do well, it's not that I'll feel disheartened. I'll continue building, but I'll be like, that's, if anything, that's what I want people to see about me. Like, I do create a lot of things and I do hope they do well. Like, I do like the camper van again, and I do like the dark academia apartment, but there are, I think anyone who creates builds or anyone who does any kind of content creation can agree with me when I say that, yeah, you may create some few things, but there are certain things that you've put a lot more time and effort and care to that you're like, if anything, this is what I would love people to see about me. So I feel like I'm also kind of just scared because it's like, that's one thing that I don't think I could ever recreate. That Desert Village was one of my best works, and I will release it just because I also know not to hold on to it because I'm kicking myself because of this. But if you guys watch Fake Gamer Girl, she normally does these videos where you go into the gallery and type in FGG something. And recently, I think it was yesterday, she uploaded this video, said, go into the gallery and type in FGG culture. And then it was a building competition, because I've always wanted to enter one of the building competitions, but I've never really had the thought process of what I should create regarding it. So when she said, type in FGG culture, I was like, okay. And then I looked at it and I was like, this would have been so perfect. One, because the style of Desert Village I used was Middle Eastern inspired, and FGG loves Middle Eastern culture and loves, I think it's because she's part of the Middle Eastern culture and she loves more representation in The Sims 4 about it. So I was like, this would have been so perfect for that competition. And it's only because I held it was it not part of that competition, but it would have been such a great thing. So now I'm trying to do my best with, yes, as much as I cherish it and as much as I would like it to go well, the last thing I would want is to miss something as crazy as that. So if I've got the ability, if I've got the energy to, I will do it. Also, the videos ended and I was talking nonsense the entire time. I'm so sorry. I wasn't even supposed to talk about this sim because this sim is so good looking. Whether he's going to be in the gallery or not, I don't know, because he does have a lot of CC, but this sim is good. Okay, you can tell I was listening to Brent Fires the entire time I was building this because I was just like, no, I want to create him in the Sims, and this is where he'll live. But yeah, this is, as always, when I'm creating my apartment buildings, every single unit will have a pre-done kitchen and a pre-done bathroom, and then everything else is to furnish it however you want. It's just to give you a kind of guideline, like a normal apartment. Like when you first move in, they normally have those things already installed there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.